Our goal in executing the first generation low-income FLY program at Barnard is for students to use our office's resources to find the support and enrichment they need in achieving academic success in accordance with our college's mission. This statement is outlined word by word on Barnard's FLY at Barnard website catered towards prospective students. To me, these words carried weight when applying to Barnard. I saw them as signs of support, as a reflection of an education free from financial worry and filled with academic success. However, before even stepping foot into Barnard, I realized that this would not be the case. While hundreds of Barnard incoming freshmen nationwide look to their phones, to their admitted students group chats, asking questions like, should I order this mini fridge onto campus? And what party should we go to during our first week? I look to my phone, to the 34 outgoing calls to Barnard Financial Aid. 34 times I dialed in, desperate to ask, why hasn't my scholarship been applied yet? How come I owe $4,000? I don't have $4,000. In a sea of excited incoming freshmen, I found myself alone. I sat in the break room of Sarku, Japan, wondering to myself if I could afford Barnard after all. Wondering why, after all the hours I spent studying to get into Barnard, all the jobs that I worked to save up for college, there was still a wall between me and my future. How many of you know what percentage of Barnard students receive need-based institutional aid? 34%. How many of you know what the median family income is for a Barnard student body? $190,000. In a sea of wealth, it is inevitable for first-generation, low-income, or FLY students to find themselves alone and struggling. This kind of struggle, especially with unseen, leads to a disproportionate capacity for FLY students to thrive. Every year, I've had my peers and friends come to me with problems finding food because they can't afford a sufficient meal plan at Barnard. Every year, I've seen students scramble to appeal their financial aid, scared that they'll have to take out more loans or even take out a leave of absence. It's these gaps where FLY students are often left to fend for themselves. We are left to find solutions to problems while balancing coursework, clubs, and even multiple jobs. Coming into Barnard, I recognize this problem as more than just a story of individual struggle. It's a larger systemic issue that demands collective action. I knew then, and what I'm here to tell y'all today, is that there needs to be a shift in the way that we address our school's wealth inequality. This shift can come from administrative changes. However, on the student level, this shift needs to be driven by supporting mutual aid efforts on campus. Now, you might be wondering, what is mutual aid? While mutual aid has acted as a practice of care throughout history, Dean Spade offers us a more relevant and definite definition of the term. Dean Spade tells us that mutual aid is a practice of collective care in which we address each other's survival needs. Dean Spade tells us that mutual aid is a key part in ensuring that we build a world in which we take care of one another, a world in which we address each other's need. In this same way, Barnard students have historically mobilized to meet the disproportionate capacity that FLY students face on campus. And it is here where I found my community. I found a home within the 1/16th Initiative last summer. While you might be wondering, what is the 1/16th Initiative? The 1/16th Initiative is a cross-campus collective that distributes both resources and financial aid to students in need. It was here where I watched my peers mobilize over $89,000 to 120 students. It was here where I recognized the true nature of mutual aid, reciprocity. Reciprocity, the act of exchanging things for mutual benefit. That means that neither party expects return. It means that we give for the purposes of supporting, not for merit or gain. This is the culture that we should embrace at Barnard. Now, a question still stands. Why should you support mutual aid? Well, for one, community. In an era where FLY students are often left at a disproportionate capacity to thrive, there is a need to build solidarity within our student body. There is a need for us to look out for one another. It means recognizing what we have and utilizing that in order for organizations like the 1/16th Initiative to cease to exist because we no longer need them. Once we recognize what we have, we can give what we can. The robustness of mutual aid is its low cost versus its high impact. This means that the threshold for supporting mutual aid is really low, while the impact is really high. All of this comes together to distinguish our weight of impact. When you donate to mutual aid, you're not donating to a distant charity. Your impact is localized. When you donate $5, you're donating $5 to the student sitting next to you, who you may never know was struggling. Being the student that stresses over a $5 purchase, I know how hard it is to reach out for help. I often thought that being vulnerable, opening up about my vulnerabilities, would open me up to unwanted pity. However, it wasn't until I joined the 1/16th Initiative where I realized that community care is not selfish. So, to my fellow Fly students in the audience, reach out. Advocate for yourself without apology. Ask for help without shame. Too often, we're made to feel like we need to shrink ourselves, to find solutions to problems alone, to prove that we're deserving of the spaces that we're in. However, the truth is that we are not here to fit a mold of a space that was not built for us. We are here to redefine it. And for everybody else, find ways to lean in. Mutual aid isn't just about donating when it's convenient. It's about shifting the way we show up for one another. So instead of spending $10 on a coffee, sign up to be a monthly 1/16th donor. Familiarize yourself with the works of Dean Spade. In any way that you insert yourself, mutual aid ties all of our efforts into a web of solidarity that our campus needs. It ensures that we're building a community where we keep each other safe. Thank you.